Hey you guys, I just want to make a quick video on why hookup culture is masculine based. The masculine energy is called the yang energy. It is focused, directed, penetrative, quick. Guys get quick heart like that. They see a woman, they want to fuck her, they want to bang her, they want to put it in, they want that release. They love to have their penises touched. They love to have their cocks used. Ask a guy if you can use his dick. He's going to be all for it. His sexual energy starts in his genitals and pretty much stays there until he comes. As men get older, they learn to control that a little bit more and to get a little bit more choosy. But that is the beautiful nature of yang energy. And that's how men are also in the workplace. That's how they're in their minds more. Anything is focused, directed, challenge, compete, dominate, lead. And we definitely need those qualities. Those are beautiful qualities. And the world of form is so beautiful in that it gives us all these opposites. Day and night, dark and light, snow and steam, and women and men. And women are the opposite of men, polarity. Women are yin. We're soft, flowing, receptive. Our sexual energy doesn't start in our pussies. It all starts from the outside and moves inward. And it also goes through all of our energy centers, including our hearts. So for a woman, sexual arousal takes a little bit slower to get there. And has more requirements, more emotional requirements. Women bring their emotions into sex. And I think when we hook up, we're doing more what's in porn. I think hooking up is more porn-like, where everything is quick. I just met you, like Tinder. I heard on Tinder now, men can just have a woman just come over and service them pretty much for free. Even getting paid for it. That's masculine energy. Quick to fuck. Stick it in now. What I wanted to invite women to really think about is your feminine energy and opening to it and feeling it. Okay, your emotions and your heart. And what you really desire versus what men are offering, what you really desire, and how sex could be if you could have your emotions into it, because a woman opens more when she has that trust and that security and her heart opened by a man. And that doesn't happen quickly. It's an unfolding, it's an opening. I just want to show you a couple of things from this book that I love. I hope you guys will all get this book. It's the #1 book I recommend when it comes to sex and relationships. Women's Anatomy of Arousal by Sherry Winston. I'm going to show you some cool anatomy stuff, but first I want to read to you about the yin versus the yang energy. So the yin energy is, pussies and hearts are yin energy. They cannot be forced to open, only invited and encouraged to do so. You can't force yourself to fall in love, and you can't make your body open either. The yin energy explains why most women take longer to become aroused than men. It needs to feel safe and connected in order to get really turned on. Her energy needs to flow freely through all of her. She needs protection from distractions that might get her busy brain buzzing. Whereas the yang energy is fiery, fast, and focused. So I think when women hook up, first of all, if women hook up when they're drunk, I don't call that real sex, because alcohol numbs. It's like taking a anesthesia before you have sex. It's like getting a small dose of anesthesia before you have sex. Like you've numbed your body, you've numbed your emotions, and you've numbed your mind. You can't feel as much or be present. That's not real sex to me. I think that women who hook up are usually drunk. Now, when I hooked up in my memoirs, The Fuck List, I was having sober sex because I wanted to experience and feel like every time I fucked a guy, I had a purpose in mind. I had a specific purpose in mind, an experience I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel sex because of my sexually barren marriage. So I was still hooking up and pacing myself off a man, but that was a very temporary period in my life. It's not what I do now. And the sex I have with men as escorts, I'm very aware that I have to open to a man. And I'm very aware of where my limits are when I can't open anymore. You know, if his penis is too big for the amount of emotional content he's given me, it hurts, as an example. So when women are just hooking up right away, they're pacing themselves off the man. They're being fiery and fast and neglecting their sexual energy. So I think that's why they have to drink first to do it. I want to show you a diagram of a woman's female anatomy. So here we see the vaginal opening, vagina, the urethral opening where urine comes out. It's a tiny pinprick opening. And the urethra, and this is the G-spot. This will swell during arousal. That's the G-spot. And then you'll also see on a woman's anatomy the clitoral gland and probably the shaft. What you will not see is the 99% of the clitoris that's internal under the outer lips, the clitoral legs and the vestibular bulbs. And this is erectile tissue. This is the same tissue as the shaft of a penis. And when a woman gets aroused, her tissue will swell from the original, more swelling, and more swelling. And when the way a man looks at us or talks to us, when we really like him, we can get this way just from him talking to us. So guys that are giving women quickies, you got her here. But when you get her here, look at how much tighter her pussy even gets. She's so swollen. You ever seen like a swollen vulva? That's why. I just want to invite women to get this knowledge and start feeling into our yin energy, our hearts, and our opening, and what we really need and desire to want to have sex and to be turned on. You know, porn is not a documentary. Porn is not meant to show us how to have sex. Porn is entertainment for men. Just like Fast and Furious is entertainment. The same way that we don't drive our cars like in Fast and Furious, we don't have to have sex at the pacing of a man. But men will take what they can get, and if we give them sex like that without them having to pay us or take us out or give us emotional safety, they'll take it and they'll become lazy. That's why they're on Tinder going like, hey, come over, suck my dick, and the woman will do it. There's no feminine energy in that. How satisfying is that? I mean, don't you feel used? I would. Honestly, a healthy masculine energy thrives by giving, by challenge. And a woman, I think, the more we get in touch with our feminine energy and what we really need and just act from that place, we will require men to step it up and to slow down. Now, in a relationship, I want to say we don't always have to have slow sex. You know, you can have your quickies because a lot of times women don't care about coming and they just want the closeness. You can give the guy quickies. You can have like 20-minute sex and you can have like long 2-hour sex once a week or something. But when first starting out a relationship or having sex with a new guy, I don't think we should be starting with quickies. I think we need to establish a slower pacing and make the man slow down. And ladies, there's nothing wrong with making a man slow down to have you. It's good for him to slow down. It's good for him to use restraint. So this video is just an invitation to just check in on hookup culture and the pacing at which we have sex. And also, I know this is just all very difficult because so many people are single now and they want to have sex and they want to connect. That's just our natural drive in the world of form, to connect with the opposite polarity. So I don't have all the answers. It's a dilemma for me too. I mean, I get sex just from my escort clients. I don't want to hook up. I don't want to just hook up with some random guy and give him my body. I feel used. And I don't feel like it's that pleasurable for me. I mean, physically pleasurable if a guy leads and dominates, which I don't get in my appointments. They want me to lead usually. You know, but emotionally it's not satisfying to just have that. It's not emotionally that satisfying. So I think we have a real dilemma. Personally, I think that more people ought to be getting into relationships, and relationships are more possible when we have really clear polarity. And our polarity is really suffering in our society. Women have become more masculinized. More women are graduating from college. Women are hypergamous. We want a man who is at least as educated and intelligent and has as much energy as we do. We don't want some guy just coming over, sitting back on the sofa because he's tired. Just bring it on. And women are masculine in the workplace. They have to turn it off and be feminine at home. Men have become feminized. They're in touch with their emotions, which is good, but we don't want a guy who's all emotional. The Me Too movement is applicable for work. Leave that shit at work. Don't bring the Me Too movement into your dating life. You're supposed to have your yang energy, to be a sexual being, to approach a woman, to take a woman out, to court a woman. Take her places. Don't be lazy. Just get her over to fuck you. You know, we've got to bring that back. Women have to, in our personal lives, women have to be feminine, men have to be masculine. Men have to want sex, they have to approach. Women have to require that men step up and do this. You know, we have allowed men to be lazy. You women, we set the tone for the pacing. And I think that men really appreciate when a woman says, step it up in a nice way, not a controlling way. They want to be challenged to step it up. They like that. So I'm giving you ladies permission to, you know, in closing, feel in touch with your feminine energy and your emotions and honor that. Decide your sexual pacing and how much love you want from a man before you have sex with him. And leave your masculine energy in the workplace. Be feminine in your personal life. And when you're dating, set the pace for the sex. You can let a man know you really want sex, but that your feminine energy is there and is real and you're feeling it, and it needs to be honored. And you're honoring your feminine energy. You're not saying no to him as a man. You're honoring your feminine energy. And for him to have sex, he has to honor your feminine energy and treat you as a woman. You're not a man. If he wants to go quick, I used to tell guys, if you want quick sex, go on Grindr, because men are always down to fuck. They don't need any opening and courting and all that. Lesbians don't just do fuck. I've fucked a lot of lesbians. If you read my book, they all want to go to dinner first. They want to have a sleepover. You know, they leave me their shirts the next day. When they go to sleep at night, they study my body and check out my birthmarks and all my markings. Like, they're so much more emotional. And we can invite men into that space, and that's what they really want. Men aren't having sex with us to get off. They can masturbate for that. They want to connect with something deeper in themselves, and we are that invitation that's something deeper, but we can't invite them there if we've shut it off. So turn on your feminine energy. At the same time, I know that you know, it's frustrating because if I do that, I feel like I'll never fuck. If I didn't have my escort business, I feel like doing that I would never fuck, because I find the number of times I find a man attractive enough to date is like 2 or 3 times a year. Like, I just don't, I don't have answers, you guys. I don't have answers to this dilemma, but I'm just throwing out some ideas, okay? I don't have the answers. I don't have any answers. I don't have a rule book on how to get good sex, how to be in our feminine energy and just have good sex or find a good relationship. You know, I've been single almost 8 years. I don't have the fucking answers. It's frustrating sometimes. The way I've dealt with it is to just not even think about it. Not even think about relationships anymore and the kind of sex I want. And to just go through my life just focusing on loving myself and having the best day that I can and just closing the door on that part. You know, but if I weren't having sex with my clients, oh God, I don't even know what I'd do. I would love to hear from the ladies, like how you deal with that as a single woman. How do you get sex as a single woman? And be in your feminine energy, not hook up right away. You know, and bring your emotions into it. Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? It's easy for men. They can just fuck us and leave. It's easy. But how do women have sex outside of a relationship that's fulfilling? I don't know. But anyway, I need to go for a run, you guys. So thanks for watching my video.